Let's solve this managerial economics question together. So you have this question under elasticity of demand, which is a very important topic under managerial economics. So the question says that the demand function for McAfee phones, and you've been given a demand function. So that's what we have here. So you have the demand function to be KOX is equal to 1200 minus 1 over 2 PX plus 1 over 4 PY minus 8 PZ plus 1 over 10 M. And they went ahead to say where PX is the price of McAfee phones. And the price of McAfee phones was given to you as for 4,910 cedis. Then PY is the price of related good Y, and it was given to you as 5,900 cedis. Then PZ is the price of related good Z. Then the price was given to you as 90 cedis. Then M is the consumer income, and the consumer income was given to you as 55,000. So this is the question you've been given, and we are asked to. So we are going to take the questions one by one. So the first one says that we should determine the total demand for McAfee mobile phones. So the total demand for McAfee phones. All right. So you've been asked to find the total demand for McAfee phones. They've already given you the demand function to be KOX is equal to 1200 minus 1 over 2 PX plus 1 over 4 PY minus 8 PZ plus 1 over 10 M. And they are now asking you to find the total demand. Now, anytime you're asked to find the total demand, it means that you have to take each term one by one. Then you substitute the values into it. Do you get it? So for the first term, we have 1200. That one, there's no variable. So it's just going to be 1200. But the second term, you have negative 1 over 2 px. But they've given you the value for px. They said px is 4,910. So you substitute it. They've also given you the value for py, which is 5,900. So you're going to substitute all of them. When you substitute it and you add it, that's how you get the total demand. So let's take it term by term. So let's start with the first term. So our first term is 1,200. So this is our constant. This one doesn't change. Nothing is attached to it. Then our II, which is our second term. That's negative 1 over 2 px. So negative 1 over 2 px. You get it. Then this should be equal to negative 1 over 2 times the value of px. They've already given you px as 4,910. So we can punch this on the calculator. Negative 1 over 2 is the same as negative 0.5. So you can just make it negative 0.5 times 4910. And when you do that, you should be getting 2455, negative 2455. Then we go to the third term. We can make it III. So 1, 2, 3. The third term is 1 over 4 py. So 1 over 4 py. So this will be equal to 1 over 4. 1 over 4 is the same as 0.25. So 0.25 times py. What's the value for py? 5,900. So that's 5,900. So 1 over 4 or 0.25 times 5,900 should give us 1,475. So that's for the third term. Then we go to the fourth term, Ivan. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 8 PZ. Negative 8 PZ. So it's equal to negative 8 times PZ. They gave the value for PZ to be 90. So times 90. So you're going to get negative 8 times 90, and that should give us negative 720. Negative 720. Then our last term, which is our fifth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 over 10m. So 1 over 10m. And this should be equal to 1 over 10 times m. Our m was given to us as 55,000. So 55,000. So you're going to get 1 over 10 is the same as 0.1. So you can just make it 0.1 times 55,000. And that should give us 5,500. Right? So now we found the values for all the terms. So now the next thing we do is just to add all of them. Do you get it? So it's going to be 1,200 plus negative 2,455 plus 1,475 plus negative 720 plus 5,500. So you just add each term. If it's negative, you just maintain the negative, but you have to add all of them. So when you add all of them, you should be getting 5,000 units. So our total demand should be 5,000 units. So you can do it on the calculator. 1,200 plus negative 2,455 plus 1,475 plus negative 720 plus 5,500 should give you 5,000 units. You get it? All right. So now we are done with the I, or the first one, which says we should determine the total demand for McAfee mobile phones. So we can just say the total demand is 5,000 units. Now we can go to the second one, which is the II. The II says that we should calculate the cross price elasticity of demand between X and Y and X and Z. So we are going to calculate for X and Y and for X and Z separately. Let me clean this part since you are done with the I. So let me clean this part. But put it in your head that the total demand is 5,000 units. So let me write it somewhere here. We might use it again. So total demand is 5,000 units. So that's for the I. All right, so let me clean this part. Okay, so the II, as I was saying, says we should calculate the cross price elasticity between X and Y and X and Z. So let's start with X and Y. So II, cross price elasticity between X. Let's start with X and Y. So X and Y. After we'll do for X and Z. Now, let's first understand what is cross price elasticity. When we say cross price elasticity, we are comparing two products and we want to see how the change in price for one product will affect the change in quantity demanded for another product. So let's assume we have, let's say, cowbell and needle, right? I want to know what will happen to cowbell if the price of needle changes. Do you get it? And it's obviously going to change. If, let's say, right now, every time I go to anytime I want to make gari or tea, I go and buy cowbell. I know that cowbell is 5 cedis, right? And needle is also 5 cedis, but I just prefer cowbell, so I buy it at 5 cedis. And now all of a sudden, needle changes their prices to 2 cedis. You get, what do you think will happen? I'll buy needle, even though cowbell has not changed their price, it has not become more expensive, but the change in the price of the other products has now caused me to change what I was going to buy. Do you get it? So it tells you that a price or the change in price for another product can change or alter the change in the demand for another product. So we are looking at what happens to quantity demanded when the change in price of another product occurs. Do you get it? So now we are asked to find the cross price elasticity between X and Y. And the formula for the cross price elasticity between X and Y is, you have this sign. We call it del. So del, the quantity of X over del, the price of Y, times, then it's going diagonally. So this one is the price of Y, then over here is quantity, so the quantity of X. Do you get it? So now if you're asked to find the cross price elasticity, don't forget, you're always comparing the price of one product and the quantity of another product. Do you get it? So now the reason why we didn't do the quantity of Y over the price of X is that, you see, for this one, they've already given the quantity of X. Do you get it? So we can use this one. But if you had made the top del the quantity of Y, they didn't give us the quantity of Y, only the price of Y. That's why we are doing like this. So put it in your head. So this means you are differentiating. If you see something like del, it means you are differentiating and there are multiple variables involved. I'm sure you guys remember this from partial derivatives. All right, so now this is the formula. So what does this mean? This means that you take the demand function or the quantity function, the quantity of X function, and then you look for the coefficient of Py. Do you get it? So this is our demand function, our QX. That's the one at the top. Then the coefficient of Py. The coefficient of Py is 1 over 4. So we write it here, 1 over 4. 1 over 4 is the same as 0.25. So you can just write 0.25 there. Then times the price of Y. The price of Y has been given to you here as 5,900. So times 5,900 over the quantity of X. The quantity of X is the total demand. So everything here, when we calculated for it, you remember we got 5,000. That was what I wrote here. So over 5,000. So you can punch all this on the calculator. 1 over 4 times 5,900 over 5,000. You can make the 1 over 4 0.25. And when you do that, you should be getting 0.295. 0.295. 95. You are getting 0.295. And put this in your head. Anytime you solve for cross price elasticity of demand and you get a positive, it means that it is a substitute. I repeat, anytime you solve for cross price elasticity of demand and you get a positive value, it means that it's a substitute. However, if you solve for cross price elasticity of demand and you get a negative, it means it's a complement. I'm going to take that again. After you go through all this process and you are solving for cross price elasticity of demand and you get a positive, this one like this, you got positive 0.295, there's no negative there. It means that it's a substitute. If you get a negative, assuming you got negative 0.295, it would have meant that it's a complement. Do you get it? So I think you were asked to state the type of good it is. So if you're asked to state the type of good, then you say that it is a substitute. So therefore, good. They said X and Y, so good. X and Y are substitutes. All right. We also asked to find the cross price elasticity between X and Z as well, right? So let's do for that one. So we are finding the cross price elasticity of demand for X and Z as well, right? So this is how we represent it, E X Z. If you see something like the E X Z, then it means you are finding for cross price elasticity of demand. Do you get it? So now it's the same form now. So this one too will be the change in the quantity demanded of X over the change, or you can make it del, this sign, you get it, in the price of Z times PZ over KOX. You get it? So please try and memorize the formula. Usually, the first one comes to the top, but the one that they've given you the quantity for has to come at the top. You get it? So this one, they give the quantity for X. That's why it's coming at the top. Assuming they had given you the quantity for Z, then we would have got the change in quantity of Z. You get it? But the one that they've given the quantity is always at the top. You get it? All right. So now this one too, it means that you take the QX, which is here, the function, then we go to PZ, then you look for the coefficient of PZ. So whatever is attached to PZ. So this is PZ and negative 8 is attached to it. So all this would give you negative 8. Do you get it? Then times PZ over QX. So what is PZ? PZ was equal to what? 90. Then over QX. QX is the total demand. Don't forget, when you substitute all the values, this is QX, and you should be getting 5,000. That's what we did in I. Do you get it? So now, when we punch negative 8 times 90 over 5,000, we should be getting negative 0.144. Negative 0.144. And what did I tell you? I tell you that anytime you solve for cross price elasticity of demand and you get a negative, it means that it's a what? A complement. So you can say therefore good X and Z are complements. Why? Because we got a negative. So negative for complement, positive for substitute. All right, so you are done with the II. Now let's go to the next one, which is the III. For that, I asked to find the price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand. So let me clean the board so that we'll solve for it. All right, so the III, which is the price elasticity of demand. So this one is simple. This one, we are not comparing two products. It's just one product. So we just want to see what is going to happen to quantity demanded when there is a change in price. So I'm a manager of a company. We want to change the price. Maybe we feel like right now lots of people are buying. So let's just increase the price. Do you get it? Because they are buying. Before you increase the price or before you change the price, you have to check the elasticity or the price elasticity of demand. That is what is going to tell you the percentage of people that are going to stop buying or are going to continue buying if you change the price. Do you get it? So if, let's say, a government imposes a tax on your products right now, let's assume that originally or before the tax, you were selling it at 50 cedis, right? And now government says that for every product, you have to pay a tax of 55 cedis. Now, before you even impose the tax on the consumers or those that are going to buy, you have to check the elasticity of demand. If let's say you realize that people buy the product at any price, then you can put all the 5 cedi on it. But if you realize that people are responsive to the price or they are going to stop buying when you change the price, then you can share the tax with them rather than letting them take all the cost. So instead of selling it 55 cedis, you can rather sell it maybe 52 cedis. You get it? Then you will take 3 cedis of the cost. So we use elasticity to check all these things. You get it? All right. So now the formula for elasticity of demand, which is the same as price elasticity of demand, is del QX over the price, then times the price over the quantity of X. Do you get it? So you are looking at the change in the quantity of X over the change in price times price over the quantity of X. Do you get it? So now this one, you're only looking at one commodity. You get it? So QX, the price, you are looking at the price of the same good, which is X. You're looking at the price of the same good. You are not comparing two products. You get it? So it's the same product. So now this del QX over del price X means that you take the QX function, you get it. Then whatever is at the down, you take the coefficient of it, which is the PX. So the coefficient of PX here is -1/2, which is whatever is attached to PX. So we are getting -1/2. Then times PX. PX was already given to you as 4,910. So 4,910 over QX. QX is our total demand when we substituted all the values and we got 5,000 in I when we solved for it. Do you get it? So now we are getting -1/2 times 4,910 over 5,000. And that should give us -0.491. -0.491. Now put this in your head. When you are calculating for price elasticity of demand, not cross price elasticity of demand, only price elasticity of demand, anytime you get a negative value, you take the absolute. I repeat, if you are solving for price elasticity of demand, only price elasticity, you don't do this for cross price elasticity of demand, only price elasticity of demand, and you get a negative value, you take the absolute. Taking the absolute means that if you get a negative, you just change it to positive. So this one like this, we got -0.491. But we are not going to work with this. We are going to change this to positive. So this would give us 0.491. So this is our final answer. And now if you solve for price elasticity of demand, let me just write all the 5 of them here. If you solve for price elasticity of demand and it is less than 1, it means that it is inelastic. If you also solve for price elasticity of demand and it is greater than 1, it means that it is elastic. If it is equal to 1, it means that it is unitary elastic. We also have for perfectly inelastic and perfectly elastic, but we usually deal with these ones, especially with the inelastic and elastic. So we can limit our conversation to those ones. You get it? So usually, if you get, it's usually going to be greater than 1 or less than 1 for most exam questions. So this one like this, our price elasticity of demand was less than 1. 0.491 is less than 1. So this is less than 1 like this. So it means that it is inelastic. So you can say therefore good X is inelastic. When we say a good is inelastic, it means that consumers don't really react to the product or the change in price of the product. It means that if, let's say, you are selling something at 50 cedis and all of a sudden you change it to 55 cedis, people are not really going to stop buying like that, or people are not really going to change how they buy. Even if people might change, but then just a small percentage of them, people don't really care about the price. But if it is elastic, it means that they react to it. You get it? So when you change the price, a lot more people stop buying or change how they buy. You get it? So yes, that's for the III, which is the price elasticity of demand. Now let's go to the IVN. The IVN says that we should find the effect on the total revenue if price increases by 500 cedis. All right, so let me clean the board so that we solve for it. All right, so the IVN, they say we should find the effects of, or the effects on total revenue if price increases by 500 cedis, right? 500. Now, before we even solve this, remember the question I just solved before this, which was the II. We said the good was inelastic. So let me write it somewhere here. We said it was inelastic. And I told you that the meaning of inelastic means that consumers don't really react to the price. Do you remember? So it means they don't react. Some react, but not a larger proportion. So most people don't react. All right. So now that we know that, let's solve this. So we are saying that the effect on total revenue if price increases by 500. So we are just trying to say that if the manager decides to increase the price by 500 cedis, what is going to happen to the revenue of the company? Are they going to make more revenue? Or they're going to make less revenue? You get it. All right. So now we before we even solve it, we have to find the total revenue, the old total revenue before the price was increased. Then we'll calculate the total revenue after the price was increased. Then we'll compare. You get it? So the formula for total revenue we know is price times quantity. This is the general formula for total revenue. Price times quantity. So we are now finding for the total revenue even before the price increases. You get it by 500. So our old, let me make it old total revenue. So our old total revenue will be equal to our price. That's the price of good X. This one, I'm talking about only good X. Do you get it? This one, they didn't ask us about good Y and good Z. Those ones are different with that. This one, I'm limiting it to just good X. You get it? So the price for good X was 4,910. So 4,910. So price times quantity. And the quantity, which was the total demand, was 5,000 units. You get it? So now our old total revenue before the price increased by 500 is, so 4910 times 5,000. When we do that, we should be getting 24,550,000. Right? So this is the total revenue, how much the company was making before they increased the price. And now the company wants to know that if they increase the price by 500 cedis, is it going to be more than this or is it going to be less than this? Do you get it? So now, if they are going to increase the price, it means that the old price is no more 4910. But so the new price is now going to be 4910 plus, it's an increase by 500, so plus 500. And this should give us, so 4910 plus 500 should give us 5410. So this is our new price after they increased it by 500. And it's also the quantity demanded is not going to be the same. Do you get it? Because now the price has changed. So there might be some people who are going to continue buying, who are going to stop and all that. So you have to find for the new quantity demanded. Let's do that here. So now our total demand is no more going to be 5,000 units. Why? Because the price of X has changed. So we have to resolve for our total demand. You get it? So like I said, we start with each of the terms. So our first term is 1,200. Then our second term is negative 1 over 2 times the price of X. Now the price of X is no more 4,910. It's now 5,410 because the price has increased by 500. So negative 1 over 2 times 5,410. And that should give us as negative 2,705. So negative 2,705. Then we go to the third term. So for the third term, we have 1 over 4 PY. So 1 over, let me do it down here. So 1 over 4 times PY. Our PY is 5,900. And that should give us 1,475. Then our fourth term, negative 8 PZ. So negative 8 times PZ. Our PZ is what? 90. So that should give us negative 720, right? Then our VIN, which is the last term, that's 1 over 10M. So you're going to get 1 over 10 times M. Our M is 55,000. You get it? So 1 over 10 times 55,000 should give us 5500. So we add all of them to get our new quantity after the price has increased by 500. And when we add all of them, 1,200 plus negative 2,705 plus 1,475 plus negative 720 plus 5,500, we should be getting 4,975, right? Sorry, 4,775. 550 units. So this is our new quantity or our new demand after the price has increased by 500. So now we have to find for the new total revenue. So our new total revenue, that would be our new price, which is 5410, times our new quantity, which is 4750. And when we do that, we should be getting 25697. So 25697, then 500. So this is our new total revenue. So new total revenue. So now let's compare the new total revenue and the old total revenue. So the old total revenue was 24,550,000. The new total revenue after the price increased by 500 was 25,697,500. So what do you observe? You observe that the total revenue has increased, meaning they are getting more money after they increase the price by 500. And why is that so? That is so because the demand was inelastic. When you found for the price elasticity of demand, and I told you that when it's inelastic, it means that when you increase the price, people don't really react, so they are still going to be buying. So what have we learned from this? We've learned that anytime demand is inelastic and you want to make more revenue or you want to make more profits, you can increase your price because consumers don't really care about the price. However, if demand is elastic, meaning that the consumers care about the price and you want to make more revenue, you have to lower the price. You get it? So please take note of this. All right, so we are done with the IVIN. Now let's move on to the VIN. The VIN says we should find for the income elasticity of demand. All right, so let's clean the board so that we solve for the VIN. Now, what is income elasticity of demand? When we say income elasticity of demand, we want to know what is going to happen to demand when income changes. In other words, if you want to take me as an example, if I get more money, am I still going to be buying this particular product? If I get less money, am I still going to be buying this particular product? So you want to know what is going to happen when the income for your consumers change. Are they still going to be buying your product? Do you get it? So now, the formula for income elasticity of demand is represented by EM, elasticity of demand for income. Income is usually represented by M. It's equal to the change in quantity demanded of X over the change in income times income over the quantity demanded for X. So for all these ones, we are looking at just X. Do you get it? It's only cross price elasticity of demand that we look at the other products with like Y and Z and all that. But for income, price, and all that, we're only limiting it to X. Do you get it? Or the particular one that they've given you the quantity demanded. All right. So our income elasticity of demand is going to be, so this means that you take the one at the top, which is the quantity demanded of X, the function, then you look at the M, then the coefficient of M, whatever is attached to M, that is here. And we got that's 1 over 10. So all this, del QX over del M, all this will give you 1 over 10. Then times M. Our M was given to us as 55,000 over QX. QX is our total demand. So we're going to use the old one. Since they didn't tell us that price has increased or anything, we're going to use the total demand resource for which is 5,000 units. So now when we point this on the calculator, 1 over 10. 1 over 10 is the same as 0.1. So you can make it 0.1 times 55,000 over 5,000. And we should be getting 1.1, right? 1.1. So now we've got our income elasticity of demand to be 1.1. Now put this in your head. Anytime you solve for income elasticity of demand, then we don't take any absolute values. So if you get negative, it's the same. If you get positive, you maintain your answer. So if you solve and get anything that is greater than 0, then it means that your good is a normal good. However, if it is less than 0, then it means that your good is an inferior good. In other words, if you solve for income elasticity of demand and your answer is positive, it means that your good is a normal good. However, if your answer is negative, it means that your good is an inferior good. So this one is our answer is positive. It means that our good, so which is good X, is a normal good. If you had got something like negative whatever or any negative answer, then that meant that our answer is an inferior good. Now let's move on to the next one, which is VIN I. So for the VIN I, they said we should give an example of good y and z. So let's start with good y. So good y in relation to x. So we said good x and y. Now, if you were writing the answers, go to, I think that was II or so, the way we have asked to find the cross price elasticity of demand. We said good x and y were substitutes, right? Do you remember? So now they're asking us of examples of good y in relation to good x. Do you get it? So now you're looking at substitutes of good x. Do you get it? We know that good y is a related good, but then when we solve for the elasticity of demand or the cross price elasticity of demand, we concluded that it's a substitute to good x. So a substitute means that you can use it in place of good x. And we know that good x is McAfee phones, you get it. So, and since it's in Ghana, a substitute can be any other mobile shop in Ghana. You get it. So you can use Techno Ghana, Infinix Ghana. So that would be an example of a good Y, right? Yes, which is a related good. So anything that can be used in place of good X, which is McAfee phone. So any other phone product in Ghana, you get it. Then we also asked to find an example of good Z. And when we solve for the elasticity of demand between X and Z, remember we concluded that it is a complement. Do you get it? Meaning that you can use them together, you can use them hand in hand, so they go together. And if good X is a mobile phone and you are looking for complements, things that you use with a mobile phone, you can talk about chargers, I mean any accessory of a mobile phone. You can even use data, you get it, because you are going to use data. So charger, screen protector, cover, and all that. That would be a complement to good X. All right, you are done with the VIN I. Now let's go to the VIN II. The VIN II says that we should find the impact on demand if average consumer income decreases by 8%. All right, so let me clean the board so that we solve for it. So now they are asking us to find the impact of demand if average consumer income decreases by 8%. If people the income reduces by 8%, how is it going to affect the demand for good X? Right, so before we know this, we have to know that the income elasticity of demand, which is our EM, the formula for it is the percentage change in quantity of X over percentage change in income. So put this in your head. The income elasticity of demand, the formula is the percentage change in the quantity of X over the percentage change in the income. What we did is when we broke it down. When you break it down, that's when you get the other formula I wrote. But this is the percentage formula. You get it. Since they've given it to us in percent. So when it comes to percentage, the formula is the percentage change in the quantity of X over the percentage change in income. Now we know the income elasticity of demand to be 1.1. That's what we solved for. Then we also know the percentage change in income. They've already told you that income decreases by 8%. Yes. So now we can cross multiply to find the percentage change of the quantity of X. So in cross multiply, I can see that the percentage change of the quantity of X will be equal to the income elasticity of demand times the percentage change in income. Do you get it? So this is going to be equal to the income elasticity of demand, which is our 1.1 that we solved for, times the percentage change in income. And that's what they give to us, which is our 8%. But because it decreases, it is negative 8%. If it was increasing, it will be positive 8%. Do you get it? So now we can solve this step by step, and we should be getting negative 8.8%, right? So it means that our percentage change in quantity of X is negative 8.8%. What does this mean? It means that when income decreases by 8%, the quantity demanded of X decreases by 8.8%. I repeat, when income decreases by 8%, quantity demanded also decreases by 8.8%. So now that we know that quantity demanded will decrease by negative 8.8%, we can now change it to decimals. Then we multiply it by our old demand. You get it? To find the actual decrease in demand, the number of people that are going to stop buying. So negative 8.8%, when you change it to decimals, it's just going to be over 100. So negative 8.8 over 100. So negative 8.8 over 100, when we do it on the calculator, should give us negative 0.088. So negative 0.088. So it means that the quantity demanded decreases by negative 0.088 when the income decreases by 8%. That's what it means. So now we can multiply the negative 0.088 times the old demand to see the actual decrease in it. So you get it. So negative 0.088 times the 5,000. So when we multiply it by 5,000, we are getting negative 440. So it means that it decreases by 440. So from 5,000, it decreases by 440. Get it? So we are going to get 5,000 minus 440. Then you get the actual decrease, or what happens to demand when the income decreases by 8%. So we are just going to do it 5,000 minus 440. And this would give us 4560, right? 4560. All right. So the, this means that demand decreases from 5,000 to 4,560 when the income decreases by 8%. Or what happens to demand when the income decreases by 8%? I hope you get it. All right. So we are done. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.